This is Morten from Inkis. We are here at the Koenig Bauer Durst open house in Radebeul. And obviously, any press in the world cannot run without software. So who's better to talk about that than you, Michelle, right?
Yeah, good to see you, Morten.
Good to see you too. I mean, there's a lot of things to talk about because yesterday I had the pleasure of sitting on the same table as you for dinner. Yeah. Let's start with the company. I mean, your division and the software, that has just grown exponentially, right?
Yeah, this was a really exciting journey so far. So basically we started 2018 and now we scaled up the solution. So we are now having thousands of installations out. We have formed a team also by acquisitions now with around 100 persons dedicated to software. And yeah, for us that's an important part now of the business.
And I must also say that I recognize it even more because, you know, maybe not so much on the software side, but if you look at some of the companies in the industry the past 10, 15 years, it's not gone as good as it has gone for Durst, right? I mean, you have grown also on the, and one thing is you've grown on software, but you've also grown on all the segments and the hardware sales that you have. Yeah, right. And it seems that you're unstoppable, right?
Yeah, so the Durst is following the strategy of diversification and it seems to turn out really successfully. We are also stepped into the world of additive manufacturing. So first parts are already out in the space. And on the other hand, with the pixel to output strategy, it was the logical step, not just providing only the most productive and best quality printing machines, but also taking the process into account. Because the bottleneck is often sitting before printing or after printing and solving this customer pain point with the right tools, and that's software. Yeah. How you can digitize the workflow, how you can automate processes, how you can seamlessly integrate the different production pieces into one workflow solution. That was the strategy to output. And yeah, and at Durst Next, we will also present the next evolution and
I know. And when you say Durst Next, I would say that for most people it's probably also because they know about Durst 90th, your 90th anniversary, yeah. Right?
Yes.
I was just about to think that when you look at 90th anniversary, I mean, all companies that have double digits in their history is of course amazing that they have been able to adapt to the market. But I mean, the radical change for Durst as a major player in the print space today is like 15, 20 years old, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's the company is always reinventing itself. So, as you said, it started. Now we are with digital printing, diversification with additive manufacturing, but before was out of the photo industry. And I think that's one of the main characters of Durst, to be always hungry to question itself, to transform, to searching for innovation, and to change also the market very actively.
And again, if you look at, I think also one of the things that, I mean, we spoke also yesterday a little bit about how special it is to be from South Tyrol, right? Because it is on almost its own country in its region at least, right? Yeah. But it also, I think that Chica and I, we come from small countries, right? And we always think that, okay, small country mentality is also very open to discuss and talk business with other people, partnerships. You have Omet, you have Koenig Bauer where we are now, and you probably have a lot of more partnerships that are part of your definition, right? I mean, when we are here today and you see the Varijet and you see 60, 100 people coming to a show like this, I mean, how does it make you feel because you're part of this bigger thing here now?
Yeah, so to answer the first question related to the region, I think the Alps used to be really a tough environment. And you're learning basically three things. Better in a team than being alone. The second one, you need a kind of, our CEO Christoph Camper is always saying, kind of stubbornness to get things done, because nothing is easy. So, and I think we have the willingness to go through also difficult times. And the third one is that we are seeing our surroundings, how they are changing, and sustainability we are taking really seriously, because we saw the glaciers melting and how nature's transforming. And we take this also again as business opportunity, because reducing waste has a direct impact on the TCO. So what's good for the environment is also good for business, and we are trying to combine this both.
Yeah, and then talking about when you come to a show like this and you see a lot of people with expectations for the future of a digital press. Yeah. I mean, of course, you see a lot of customers interested in digital space because that's part of the DNA of Durst as well, of course. But in this collaboration, I mean, how does it make you feel because you're part of it?
Yeah, it's really interesting. So because, as you know, also ceramics is a type of Durst, so 100% digitalization there. Large format, 100% digitalization. Looking at label, digital is growing fast. We have now 20, 25, 30% of digital print glass volume thing. And if you're looking at folding carton, it's different. They're at the beginning of the journey.
Yeah.
And so we are happy to help Koenig Bauer Durst to share our experience and help them with our software solution to get also this market adopted to the opportunities of digital print.
If you look at it as a software, head of software, and you understand software better than most, what are the biggest challenges, if there are any challenges, in software relation to a machine like the ViroJet 106?
Yeah, I think that one of the biggest one is to understand that software is a crucial tool to get the maximum out of the printer. Because if you just ignore how a press is fed and how much work it might be associated to do manually all things related to data preparation, variable data and so on, then you cannot use the productivity of the machine. That's one crucial thing, and that you understand software as a tool to improve your processes and to make it easier. The other thing is what we also see that also in the conventional printing here, the experts are not so easy to find anymore.
Yeah,
and even if you have to make the transition from conventional printing to digital, you need really good guys. They are open-minded to adopt themselves, and on the other hand, it's hard to find them. So you have to bring more and more intelligence into the software and to create also the user experience around it. It was also one of the discussions from the keynotes. So the new generation, they are used to iPhones, digital devices like that really have an easy, intuitive user experience. And they're expecting the same now also for interacting with at work.
Yeah.
And if you can provide this environment, that also helps you to secure the employees.
Yeah. If I think about it also, because are you also delivering the RIP for the machine, or?
For the ViroJet now, that's the RIP, that's the color management,
Yeah.
that's the data preparation, everything you need from PDF intake to make it digestible from the machine,
So,
and also the data analytics.
The reason I was asking is just because, I mean, you have a relatively fast machine, you have a big sheet size, so it requires a lot of computing power to actually be able to rip it in time with the press, right?
We have a very flexible architecture around the RIP, so we can use render satellites, so using different hardware
so basically,
to split the RIP load. We can split, for example, the data preparation, putting on a virtual machine, having the calculation power distributed on different workstations, but it's always under the same hood. So you don't see the magic that's happening to distributing the workload.
But that basically means that in case you're working a lot of short runs but not variable data, you need less computing power. And if you have a lot of large variable sections of a print, you basically just add more computers to the setup, basically.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Michael, thank you very much.
Yeah, it was a pleasure, Martin. And see you next time.
Definitely, yeah.